Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative Headline News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Starting off locally here in Trinidad and Tobago, Planning Minister Dr. Kennedy Swarat Singh has urged citizens not to look at recent job numbers by themselves, following official state statistics that show a loss of nearly 6,000 jobs in early 2026. The minister explained that a drop from 569,900 workers at the end of 2025 to 564,000 in early 2026 is simply part of a normal post-holiday trend. I know that is true. A lot of, especially young people, are usually hired by these different businesses for the Christmas period, because of the Christmas rush, supposed Christmas rush, which people have been experiencing anyhow for quite a few years now. But somehow or the other, this sounded more like a P&M excuse of telling everything where this government now is P&M, So these people really seasonal work, but you can't tell me it's only 6,000, almost 6,000 people were young people that went to get Christmas jobs. Temporary positions created for the busy Christmas season in stores. Yeah, but what busy are you talking about anyhow? Hotels and delivery services naturally come to an end during the first few months of every year. To give a clearer picture of the country's actual economic growth, the ministry pointed to long-term comparisons instead of temporary seasonal shifts. What brought you talking about? Companies leaving. Big companies leaving, especially because of the price of the natural gas fuel and stuff like that, right? Even Nestle want to change up the whole production of certain types of items, goods and whatsoever. But people could lose their jobs in Nestle. You talking about growth? Businesses that I personally know continue to shut down. You talk about growth. These people are comedians, They are the spirit of the P&M in them. That's what they have. When compared to the exact same period last year, total employment actually grew by around 5,100 jobs. It can't be most. If it was most, that would be good. I was not going to say most of that would have been probably from the maintenance work that was provided for people in the ministry. But I think it was only about 1,600 people, which it should be 5,100. At least 5,000 people should be given maintenance work in order to be able to go and maintain all the different roadways and drains and so forth throughout Trinidad and Tobago as well. Throughout Trinidad, right? Tobago manages their own thing with CPEP and thing. But throughout Trinidad, right? Our areas still being neglected. Still neglected. When compared to the exact same period, I've said that part already. Additionally, the post-Christmas drop seen in early 2026 was much smaller than in previous years, which saw losses of 17,300 in early 2024 and 13,400 in early 2025. That is significant too. That is. Nevertheless, moving on, the minister also noted that more people are actively looking for work. Yeah, of course. And they're making it harder for people. With the total labor force growing by about 8,200 participants over the past year. He explained that when more people start searching for work, it can cause both numbers and unemployment figures to go up at the same time. Main job growth was seen in areas like business services, personal care, real estate, and self-employment, which the government will keep monitoring to guide future economic plans. Now, I'm not saying everything he said there was a lie to him. And if it was, honestly speaking, if it was that the unemployment numbers or the people that lost jobs in 2024 was significantly higher to that extent, if he's speaking the truth about that, then that is really a huge difference there. But still, I am really talking about, as I said before, his numbers might be correct, and he may be talking the truth when it pertains to the Christmas employment and stuff like that. But don't tell me anything about economic growth. We are not seeing any economic growth in this country. Sir, we are not. When I put things about business growth and all, we are not. We are still seeing a whole lot of businesses shutting down, especially You're talking about these corporate companies, these large companies leaving Trinidad or saying that they're restructuring, and you talking about growth. You can miss me with that. You can miss me. That sounds like a PNM narrative, Swarat Singh. That is what it sounds like.
Weather report for Trinidad and Tobago Thursday, August 6, 2026. On Thursday, August 6, 2026, Trinidad and Tobago will experience scattered thunderstorms and morning showers transitioning into a clearer evening. Daytime temperatures will reach a high of 29 degrees Celsius, feeling like 32 degrees Celsius due to 78% humidity with an easterly wind blowing at 12 miles per hour. A mild to moderate concentration of Saharan dust remains present in the atmosphere, so individuals with respiratory sensitivities should exercise caution. Regarding the marine outlook, seas will be moderate in open waters with waves ranging from 1.5 meters to 2.0 meters, while sheltered areas will see waves between 1.0 meters to 1.5 meters. Heavy downpours may trigger localized street or flash flooding in low-lying areas. The UV index reaches a very high level of 9, requiring sun protection if you are outdoors during peak hours.
Regional news now. Amid growing public concern over the abandonment of senior citizens at public healthcare facilities in Bahamas, Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Michael DeVille has confirmed that enacting legislative measures against the elders or elderly neglect is a top priority for the government ahead of the resumption of Parliament. Now, the thing about it is they're talking about normal hospitals. You go and you admit your parents, your grandparents, or whoever, or parents, in these hospitals because they are ill, and then you just turn your back on them. In my opinion, I don't even like the idea of sending your parents or your grandparents to any sort of homes for the aged either, unless they really have some kind of ailment that cannot be managed at home. Right, you put them in a facility where they can be properly taken care of, and you are, of course, paying for their care, and you go and visit them and so forth. But under normal circumstances, you should not be abandoning your relatives in these homes for the aged. That is ridiculous. Far less for what is taking place here in the Bahamas. I don't know if it's taking place here in Trinidad as well. But in the Bahamas, these people are just admitting their relatives into these hospitals and then turning their backs on them. That is ridiculous. Really, really evil. The issue of borders. Elderly patients who remain cleared for discharge but are left behind by relatives. So that they recovered from whatever ailment that they had, and yet the relatives just never came back. That is evil, boy. Your parents did not abandon you. Now it have those that did. But in these cases, they didn't abandon you because they actually were part of your life until you were ready to just dump them in a hospital. So that means they didn't abandon you while you were growing up, while you were young, while you were being miserable little children. But yet you are abandoning them now that they are old. That is ridiculous, people. It's ridiculous. So the issue of borders, elderly patients who remain cleared for discharge but are left behind by relatives, has severely strained bed capacity and delayed emergency room admissions at facilities like Princess Margaret Hospital. In response, the government is introducing the Older Persons' Rights Rights Protection and Care Bill to establish accountability for families who abandon vulnerable relatives. You see, so it's not just, you can't just, it already have laws to protect children, but now it have to protect the elderly as well. I love it. I find it should have a law like that here in Trinidad. Do we have? So who abandon vulnerable relatives, ensure benefits received on their behalf are appropriately monitored, and strengthen legal safeguards for seniors nationwide. Because that's what a lot of the times the relatives doing, you know. They're collecting the people and them pension, but all they're doing is probably taking out of the pension money to be able to take care of, to pay for the people, for their care in these aged homes. But in these kind of cases, when it is you're doing it and you're abandoning them in the hospital, I mean, all you're doing is just taking all the money for yourself and you expect the state to take care of them for free. My Lord, but people should spend time in jail for something like that. That is madness. Dr. DeVille emphasized that while public hospitals will maintain compassionate care, the admission is moving decisively alongside social service agencies to eliminate healthcare bottlenecks, expand geriatric support, and restore dignity to the country's aging population. I fully support that. Hold those relatives criminally responsible for their actions. Should be a jailable offense, in my opinion.
We have a draft piece of legislation that is already in consultation. It speaks about elderly abandonment, it speaks about the care of the elderly, and it speaks about improving the access of healthcare services for the elderly. I'm excited about this bill because for us who operate in the clinical space, we have been noticing elderly being abandoned in the country, and it is of great concern to this administration.
In addition,
think you know a lot about money? Then prove it. What if one sound could win you big cash? Listen carefully. Then tell us exactly how much money went through the machine. One guess, one sound, one chance to win. Listen, guess, win. It's the sound of money. Brought to you by 103.5 The Beat. Powered by Island Lux Quick 5.
International news now. Egypt is pressuring Israel to reopen the Rafah crossing for the transfer of goods into the Gaza Strip, which is currently available only for pedestrian crossings, largely for Palestinians seeking medical attention in Egypt. Well, they realize that Trump pressured Israel, so Egypt thinking, now is the time to do it. According to a report in Walla News, Egypt is trying to have goods transported into the strip through the Rafah crossing between Egypt and Gaza. Yeah, but a lot of the times those goods could contain weapons and stuff like that to give to the terrorists. They're going to trust them. Instead of passing through the Kerem Shalom crossing and undergoing, inspection by the Ministry of Defense. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? As has been the case since Israel seized Rafah in 2024, the move that was opposed by Egypt. Yeah. No, you see, Israel, they probably can't afford to have two different areas in order to be able to conduct these inspections. No, leave this policy in place and do it the right way. You wanted to help the Palestinian people, Jed? Do it the right way. Hamas is reportedly preparing to relocate many of its behind-the-scenes operations from Qatar to Turkey, while maintaining much of its public activity in Doha, according to Khan. But we all know Turkey is a radical jihadist nation right now, just like Qatar. This is a little strange, though. Why? What's going on there? They're up to something, They're up to something. The reported shift comes amid tensions with Qatar following Khalil and Al-Hayya's election as Hamas' new leader. Oh, well, that is why. But still, that ain't really making that much sense. Qatar has since reportedly demanded that Hamas receive approval for all official activity carried out in Doha. Maybe it is true. Maybe it is true. Because remember, these people, these Arabs, and them always fighting each other too, though. It's just that they hate Israel more than each other.
Psalm 31-4. A song of thanksgiving for deliverance and healing. I will exalt you, Lord, because you rescued me and refused to let my enemies celebrate over my defeat. Lord my God, I cried out to you for help, and you restored my health and made me whole. Lord, you pulled me back from the edge of death, you spared my life and kept me from sinking into the grave. Sing praises to the Lord, all you who are faithful to him, and give thanks to his holy name.
Lord, I cried to you, and you rescued me from death, healing my life. Sing praises to the Lord, and give thanks to his name. His anger lasts only a moment, but his favor lasts a lifetime. Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning.
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's headline news. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe, most of all, in Jesus' name.